This is not the video I wanted to make this week. I've just gotten laid off for the second time in 2025. I just wanted to come on here and talk about it. My name is Liz. If you're new to me, this is my YouTube channel. And sometimes I have brutally honest bad life updates, and this is one of them. My channel is a mix of like commentary. I say whatever is on my mind, and I share big moments from my life as well. And earlier this year, I was laid off unexpectedly due to corporate restructuring. I was working as a social media manager, and I started that job after 4 years in TV news, and it was like an amazing transition out of TV news. I was like done with broadcast journalism mentally and physically, and I was willing to do anything when I got laid off in March. So it was very exciting that less than a week after I got laid off, I got a job offer from a startup. It was a YouTube management company, so they manage like celebrity channels. And I knew one of the co-founders of the company from college. He reached out to me. We connected on LinkedIn, and less than a week after I got laid off, I had a new job. And I thought it was like kismet. I thought it was amazing, and there were red flags that I did ignore because I just needed to start a job. And I was like, it's someone I know, so I can trust him. And he said the same thing to me. He's like, this is a startup, we'll have our ups and downs, but because I know you from college, I know you're a hard worker and you can handle it. And then they lost a major client I was managing. It wasn't anything to do with me that they lost them. I think the client is like looking for new direction in their YouTube channel. They're not a traditional YouTuber. They're a celebrity who also posts on YouTube, and their heyday was the early 2000s. And I think they've just struggled to like transition to YouTube and bring an audience there. And it was like fun managing their account, but I think they want something different. I'm not sure what they want, but it's not something our agency could provide. So they decided to end their contract this month. And because my employment was funded by that client, the company no longer had the funds. It's a startup. They didn't have the funds without that client. So I was told my position was terminated. So now I'm job hunting, and I don't know that there's like a specific dream job. I guess my specific dream job would be like social media marketing for a company, and it would be great to be hybrid or remote. It would also be amazing to be able to continue to do what I love to do online and to use the skills that I've developed in the YouTube management space. It was really such a fun, creative space, and I learned so much. But like I said, there were so many red flags. I guess I'll go over a few of those red flags. So number one, when I started, I was told that we were going to merge with another company, and that I started like April 5th, and I was told that I would be on payroll and no longer an independent contractor May 1st, and that I would get healthcare and like full-time benefits May 1st. The end of April rolls around, and we're told, well, the merger is not happening yet, or the merger won't happen at all, so we still have the funding to fund everyone's salaries for 3 years without this merger, so we're good, but we'll have to like invest in our own HR department instead of like rolling over this old company's HR department into our own with the merger. So then HR benefits will start June 1st. And then of course they did not start June 1st, and by the middle of June I have an impacted wisdom tooth. So I was very clear, like, hey, I need benefits. And they said, well, they will start July 1st. I said, okay, that was like, I realized my tooth was impacted like June 5th. So I was like, okay, I can wait till July. Like my oral surgeon appointment is July 8th. So we'll be fine. And then June 25th, I messaged my manager and I said, hey, I haven't heard an update on these benefits, and June is a short month. So like July 1st is right around the corner. And he said, yeah, we're going to start benefits in July. And then I had a conversation with him the last day of June, and he said, we're going to turn benefits on in July. And I said, that doesn't make sense to me, because like benefits, if they start in July, they won't like activate. Like if you get us to enroll in them, they won't start till August 1st. We really won't have benefits till August. And he said, yeah, that might be true. I'm not sure. And I was like, how can you not know after telling me for 3 months that my benefits are going to start at the first of the next month? Like, you've been telling me this since April and it's now June 30th. So there was that. But I was like, it's a startup, it's fine. Like, I can ad hoc my insurance, pay for birth control out of pocket, and hopefully by August I'll have health care coverage. I still don't have great insurance. I bought something off of like Obamacare's marketplace, but of course this bill that the Republicans passed will take away the marketplace in a lot of ways next spring, so that makes me very nervous, and I really need a job with actual healthcare benefits. Like, paying for things out of pocket is not good. Like, it doesn't work well. And the second major red flag was just the complete lack of communication. The only person who really ever talked to me was the person who hired me. And, I had one-on-ones with the other co-founders of the company, but when I would do a task and message them, of course, this is all remote, I would just never get an answer. And I could never tell if they were like upset with me, or people told me, not to read into tone. Like, constantly I was like being mentored, like, don't read into tone of voice. But you can't read into tone of voice when there's no message entirely. And I don't think the two co-founders of the company messaged me like the entire month of June, even though I sent them multiple messages every single week, updates on clients and questions and just, their advice, because I'm managing like these massive YouTube channels, and these YouTubers are asking for my like advice. And like, yeah, I'm working in the YouTube space, but like, these are experts who have over a decade of experience, and I need to rely on my managers, and like, they founded a YouTube management agency. And if my client is asking me, what's best practice for this, I have an opinion, but I want to back up my opinion with, a second opinion. So I'm going to, when a client would ask a question, I would message one of the managers who is directly involved with that client, and I would say, hey, this is what I'm going to tell them. Do you have any other advice, or like, am I steering them in the wrong direction when it comes to content and, audience retention and all that? And ghost, like, no answer, ghost silence. And, I went to the guy who hired me multiple times about this, and I was like, am I not performing well? Like, is there anything wrong with me? And they would say, no, they're just in meetings all day. It's a startup. They have constant meetings. And just, I don't see the meetings on their calendar, and I understand. Like, sometimes I do see the meetings on their calendar, but they must private a lot of these meetings, and I understand they're meeting with investors and potential clients, but like, when there's a lack of communication, it just creates like rolling anxiety. And honestly, I'm relieved to not be dealing with that anxiety. Like, if I work in a corporate job remote again, I'm very hopeful that it will be actually like corporate and that they will communicate, clearly every day. And that if I message a manager, that I wouldn't get a response. Like, I really hope so. And understand, like, they're the CEO, HR, finance, client facing, like marketing, they're doing everything all in one, which is the role of a startup founder. But like, you hired me to do this job, and it's really hard for me to do it and know that I'm doing a good job if I'm getting no answers to questions that I have. And then being told when I do have a meeting with the manager who hired me, who says, yeah, you're doing amazing. And then he said, okay, so the only negative feedback I got one time was one of the founders thought that I wasn't responsive on Slack. And they said that I didn't like put that I was out at lunch or whatever. And I said to the guy who hired me, I said, I have no idea what they're talking about. I have never not answered a message immediately unless it was like after I was asleep. Because yes, they would message at 10 o'clock at night East Coast time, and they were on the Pacific Coast time. But the minute I woke up the next morning, I was answering. So and they knew my hours. So I don't understand like why anyone would ever think I was unresponsive on Slack, because that was the only like critique of me that was ever given. And the guy who hired me said, yeah, I've never had that problem with you, so I don't know where they're coming from. They couldn't even like name the date that you were unresponsive. They just felt that you were unresponsive. And I was like, they feel like I'm unresponsive. Yeah, if the shoe fits, I guess. But like, please, like, I needed answers to move forward with these projects for clients, and I was just going out on a limb. Like, I would say, hey, can you QC or quality check this video? Not get a response. And it's like, I asked for that on Thursday. The video goes live on Sunday. By late Saturday, I haven't gotten a response. So I went ahead and like scheduled the video. Never got any criticism on that. The client had no complaints about the video. I was never told there was anything wrong with it. But when you've been told that there's a process that your work will be quality checked and you don't get like a thumbs up or any other confirmation that the work was quality checked, that leaves me, the person working, and being told that I need to be QC'd, very, very anxious. So yeah, I would bolt in the middle of the night. Like, I remember one time I like woke up at 11:30 at night to double check that a video that was scheduled for 7 was actually scheduled. Like, I was constantly on edge. Like, I would have nightmares about failing clients. And I actually, like, the clients were great. Like, I had such great interactions with the clients. It was just like feeling like I was on a little island, being told, like, just here, manage this YouTube channel, and then not anyone having my back. And if there was any mistake, of course that mistake was on me, and I didn't have someone to have my back to be like, let's prevent these mistakes from happening. Oh gosh, y'all, I got 2 hours of sleep last night, and I'm really, like, I hate that I'm back in this position. And I just hope my next job is not so anxiety inducing, and that it's like that I have healthcare and that I'm on like HR payroll, and like that it's not a startup, that the money can dry up any day and be told like I logged into work Monday, and then in the middle of the day there was a work meeting at 5, and like I just knew that I was going to get let go. Like, I knew that I was going to get laid off. I just had a feeling. I convinced myself it wasn't the case. And then around 2 o'clock, I double checked the calendar, and I saw that my manager had a meeting with the other staff right after the meeting with me, and it said like team member update, and I knew immediately. So the meeting's at 5, and I saw that at 2:30. So then I had 2.5 hours of like trying not to cry and just existing. I didn't cry when I got let go. I didn't cry for a while, which was great. I posted on TikTok, and a friend of mine saw my post that I got let go, and she sent me some cash because I had to buy a new coffee pot because my coffee pot broke the same day that I got laid off. So like, great start to my Monday. And that actually is what made me cry. And then last night I almost cried, but mostly I didn't sleep. Mostly I laid in bed and was anxious about like job applications, and yeah, it's just like so anxiety inducing. Like, I need to work, I need to make income. So speaking of making income, I have some things out there. Number one, I'm continuing to post on YouTube. Last time I got laid off, I like went silent on the internet, but this time I'm determined like to keep some sort of work-life balance of like job applications and also maintaining my YouTube channel. But like, any income that I've earned on YouTube lately, I won't get till August 21st. It is a significant portion of money. It will cover like my car payment, but I won't get it till August 21st. So I don't have severance with this company because it's a startup. So like, I'm out of money. And so I'm doing everything I can to like continue to post on YouTube. I would ask that people become channel members, but I still won't get that money till August 21st because it's not till the next cycle. So if you pledged $3 a month to my YouTube channel, I would not receive it till August 21st. So I thought about that, and that's why I made a Ko-fi or Ko-fi, I'm not sure which way to say it. And you can, if you want to support my work on YouTube and help me get by until the next job opportunity and until I'm earning a full-time income again. I've never asked for money on the internet. Oh my gosh. So the last time I got laid off, I had like a 401k that I had money in. I had a week of severance in it, and I got hired right away, so I was able to like stopgap April. And then I said to myself, like, I will save money so that if I ever get laid off or need to change jobs again, I will have money. And of course it was 3 months. That's not enough time to save a lot of money. And I was able to, be on top of all my bills, except my electric bill. It's like a month behind, so it's $300 next week, which is a lot of money. But like, I had to pay for my car because it was overheating, so that was $400. And I took my pet to the vet in June for her yearly vaccine, so that's another $400. Oh, and I'm just like, I wish I could have saved that $800. That's $800 I would have right now, but those were expenses that I had to cover. So I'm thankful I had a job to cover them. So when somebody asked me, and I made a Ko-fi. And anytime anyone, like, my phone pings and it's like someone sent you cash, it's like relief, and also like I'm so scared that I would be reliant on that, and I don't want to be reliant on unstable income. I am so thankful to like make funds on YouTube, like a couple $100 a month, but of course that's not enough to cover my rent. So I've also started doing freelance editing for like short form content. I would also do long form content. Like, I love editing, I can do it. And I told my friend, I'd already agreed like 2 weeks ago before I got laid off, I told her I would make Instagram reels for her business for $25 a reel. So I'm going to do 4 Instagram reels a week for her this month, and I'm very happy to do that for anybody else who has like content that they want turned into, that has footage they want turned into content. I'm very happy to do that. So just reach out to me. I have my Instagram, thatlizhunter. You can also email me at thatlizhunter@gmail.com. I guess I need to set up like the freelance website. It's just hard to be found in those algorithms, I understand. Like, there's already established freelancers on there, but I'm very willing to freelance, and I am actively job hunting. So I really would love to have like a stable income by August 1st, but I don't know what will happen next. So that is the life update. It sucks. It really sucks. And to be laid off twice in 1 year, just 3 months apart, with definitely no warning the first one. This one, I just was never confident in the company, and I was losing confidence every time that we told, well, we're gonna have a merger, and then they wouldn't merge. Oh, we're talking to the investment's supposed to be signed. Like, these clients they would be every month at the top of the month. They would be like, oh, so and so and so and so and so and so. Like, these 3 clients are going to join our company. And then at the end of the month, they still hadn't joined the company, and they would be like, oh, it's held up in legal. And it's like, is it held up in legal, or is it actually not happening? So I would love to have been able to like trust the people running the company. And of course, it was someone I knew from college, and I think he's a good guy. It's just like, startups are rough, and I don't suggest going to work for someone at a startup that you know from college unless you see the paperwork yourself. Honestly, to see that they're not gonna run out of money. Anyway, thanks y'all for watching. Thanks for all the kind comments that people have left on. I posted a short about my layoff, and I posted on TikTok too. Thank you for everyone who's commented. Thank you to anyone who sends me any leads. I am looking for something in marketing and social media that is like up my alley. Anything in digital media. I love digital media. It's my passion. So anything in that sphere, please send my way. I would be so happy to jump on a Zoom call, to do an interview, to send my resume and cover letter in. Like, I am willing to work literally for anywhere. Maybe let's not get into ethics of anywhere, but like, I want to work. Like, I love working. I love knowing that my skills are being useful and being used, and then being able to like create on the side, and not create out of necessity, but out of like fun and pleasure. And then, it also makes a little bit of cash, but it's more supplementary, and I use it to like pay my some of my credit card debt, which I can't right now. Like, I will have to like tell all the credit card companies, like, please give me a forbearance for this month, and don't even get me started on when student loans are due. So anyway, thanks for watching. Love you guys, and I will see you all around the internet. See ya.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.